Hello, my beautiful souls that are watching this right now. I want to thank you so much for watching. So, I'm back on live today, and I want to start talking about dysfunctional families. Okay. So, I have a few notes written down here. I have 10 signs of dysfunctional families, and we're going to discuss all 10 of them. Okay. Alrighty, so I'm gonna go ahead and just wait for a few more people to join this live before I begin speaking. Absolutely. Have 0 people in right now, but we will let people come in. We will have people come in and join. Okay, I see people are joining now. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. Hello, thank you for joining. Hello, thank you. Okay, so what we're going to be talking about today is signs of dysfunctional families. And I know a lot of people can relate to this message right now. A lot of people are probably dealing with dysfunctional families and just want to, sometimes it's good to just have a vent session, to just hear somebody else talk about the same things that you go through. So I have some notes written down here of the different signs of dysfunctional families. I'm going to take this marker to cross them out when I know I've done them. And we're going to just talk about it. We're going to talk about what they do and talk about the problems, and then talk about, solutions of how we can handle it. Okay? So, raise your hand if you were grown up in a dysfunctional, narcissistic family. Yeah, there we go. We got it. Okay. So first let's talk about, Okay, the first thing that I want to talk about when you have dysfunctional families is you deal with favoritism. Okay? You deal with favoritism. So for many of you, when you have, and this happens a lot when you have multiple siblings. If there is an only child, it's kind of difficult for that to happen. But when you have siblings, you deal with favoritism, where your parents will favor one sibling or multiple siblings over the other. Or what can happen is siblings will favor other siblings over the other. Anytime there's a designated favorite, the entire family loves to jump on board with that role. And when you have the family favorite, that is most likely the golden child in a narcissistic family. So when you're dealing with the favorite child, that's the golden child. The golden child is the one that can do no wrong. They are the one where this is the type of child that will enable the narcissistic parent's tirades. So when a narcissistic parent is, laying in on like the black sheep, the scapegoat child, then you have the golden child is, they will jump on board and they will gang up on the black sheep. Because what the golden child loves to do is the golden child plays the role of the favorite. They are the designated favorite. And they do not want to lose that role. They don't want to lose that position because it comes with so many great benefits. It comes with so many great benefits for them being the favorite. They receive a lot of accolades, a lot of praise, a lot of attention. They receive a lot of special treatment, a lot of privileges. They do not want to miss out on having all of those privileges. So they feel that it's best for them to continue the role of the favorite by playing the role in any type of way that they can. So if they have to oblige to the narcissistic parent and go after their own sibling, so the family, like the favorite child, can go against their own sibling just to protect their own role, protect their image. And other things that you can notice about the favorite child is, or the golden child, is they'll do things where they will compare themselves to the black sheep or other siblings. This is most likely the black sheep, They'll compare themselves to the black sheep by putting the black sheep down in order to put themselves up. So they'll start talking about, my sibling, they did this, they did that, they did this, and this child, they're messy, they're childish, they're immature, they're mean, they're whatever. They say all of these things because they want the other parent to believe everything that they're saying And they're basically trying to get that parent to be on board with them. You see, it's like a tag team. You know, the golden child and the narcissistic parent, they just work so well together. They work so well together in order to create dysfunction in the family. They're creating all of this dysfunction, all of this drama, all of this chaos, and they never take accountability for what they do. They never take accountability. And what they'll do is, instead of them taking accountability, what they will do is they will start to blame the black sheep, and they'll start pointing the fingers at them, and you've done this, and this is all your fault, and everything is destroyed because of you. But the thing is, they do the very same things that they're accusing you of. If not, they do it even more than you. You know what I'm saying? So they do not want to have the mirror being faced on them. So they decide to avoid that inevitable realization that they have issues themselves. So instead of them facing the mirror and facing the music of what they've done wrong, they like to point the fingers at everybody else to avoid that accountability, because they want to protect their image. They do not want to be perceived as a person that's wrong or mean or bad. They want to just be perceived as this great person that can do no wrong. And one thing that you'll see that the narcissistic parent and the golden child will say is, well, I'm not perfect. No one's asking you to be perfect, sweetheart. There is no person that is perfect. The only person that was ever close to perfect, that scratched the surface of perfection, was Yahshua, the Son of God. That was the only person that scratched the surface of perfection. And even he was a little bit imperfect. He had his moments too. He was a spiritual being having a human experience, and humans are imperfect. Yahshua was not fully perfect though. I don't believe he was. I believe he was the epitome of how great we can be as humans, but there is no person that is perfect. The only spirit that's perfect is God. God is perfect. Only God is perfect. No other human is perfect. And that's the thing. You know, they'll say stuff like, oh, well, I'm not perfect. No one's asking you to be. And they think that them saying they're not perfect is giving them a pass at what they do. And it's like, you know, you calling yourself I'm not perfect is not excusing your bad behaviors. That's basically how they take accountability. Well, I'm not perfect. Well, how about you actually take responsibility and say, you know what, I was wrong for this. I shouldn't have done that. That was wrong. That was me. They will never do that. I'm telling you, narcissistic parents and the golden child, they will never admit their faults. They will never apologize. They would never apologize genuinely. And if they do ever apologize, it's fake. It's a halfway. It's a halfway apology. You know what I'm saying? So, And that's the issue that can cause a lot of strife and cause a lot of dysfunction within families, because if one child is observing that they are not favored and that they are mistreated and that they are treated differently than their other sibling, that's going to cause that child to feel upset, and it's going to cause resentment towards the child that's being favored and resentment towards the parent, because they're thinking both of y'all are in the wrong. Parent, you are in the wrong for favoring one child or multiple children over the other. And child, sibling, you are wrong for allowing this to continue. Because listen, what will happen is that the golden child will never admit that they are the favorite. They know deep down inside that they are the favorite because of how they're treated. And they know that when they see the difference of how their other siblings are treated, and they know they don't get that same treatment, they won't sit there and admit that they're being favored, because if they go to their parents and say, yeah, I feel like you kind of favor me over them, they feel like they'll lose their position. And the role that they play keeps them safe. You know what I'm saying? And this is how we say that the golden child can act like they're so amazing and so wonderful, but really, they probably don't even really know who they truly are, because they've only lived this role that was given to them. They don't even know who they are outside of that role. And if they try to break outside of that role, they won't even know what to do with themselves. They won't even know what to do. So in order for them to continue their life and continue who they be, they're wearing a facade. They're wearing a mask. They're very superficial. And they have everybody fooled. They're so superficial that they have so many people fooled. I'm talking about the golden child. The golden child is so superficial that they have everybody fooled, thinking that they are just this wonderful and amazing daughter, son, sibling, when they're really not, because behind closed doors, that's where a lot of the damage happens. And a lot of times, the golden child is a covert narcissist. The covert narcissist is what I like to call the undercover narcissist. They're real slick, they're real sly. They don't really come right out and are bold with their narcissistic tendencies, but they wear a mask, put on this whole facade, and the stuff that they do is very subtle. It's very sneaky. It's very, very low key. They don't come right out and say what they do. But they're doing a lot of damage behind closed doors. Like, they'll do their damage by talking and gossiping to their parent or other siblings or amongst each other. So, you know, to try to like tarnish someone else's name. Just because what they want to do is, there's always three sides to a story. But when the golden child is talking to other people, they're speaking with so much conviction by putting themselves up on this pedestal, the same pedestal the parents put them up on. They place themselves on this pedestal while putting the other person down just to keep themselves up here and show everybody else that they are the good one and the black sheep is the bad one. They always want to be perceived as good by trying to forcefully make the black sheep the bad one in the situation. And in a lot of times, in a lot of cases, the golden child is the one that's completely wrong in the situation. But the way that they're describing the situation is by making the black sheep out to be the villain, but them out to be the victim. So it's like the golden child or the favored child will seriously do something so wrong, and they are the villain, but then they play the victim to a situation that they created. Okay, I need to get a chair because my knees hurt. Hold on, y'all. Don't go nowhere. Okay. Oh, that's so much better. Thank you. Okay, let me stretch my legs. Okay. Y'all can hear me okay? Good. Okay, so let's cross that out. We're done talking about favorites. Okay, now let's talk about the next one. Dysfunctional, where is my leg? Talk about the next one. Dysfunctional families are very controlling. Okay, dysfunctional families are very controlling. So what they'll do is they want to control your every move. They want to control your life. They want to basically, they want to have so much control over you, and they want to be like, they want to play the role of the puppeteer while you are the puppet. Sorry, too much lip gloss. Okay, so they want to basically orchestrate everything, and they want to be the puppeteer while you are their puppet. They want to just control your every move. And what can happen is they may want to tell you, go do this, go do that, go do this, or you know, they want to have so much control over your life. They will even start sabotaging your life, just so they can have control over every single situation. And then what they'll do is they'll manipulate you so that they can control you. Okay. My mind's kind of going blank right now because I don't want to get into too much detail about controlling, because I don't want to like digress too much. But I will say this, that when they've had control over you, meaning that anything that they said to you, you listen to it, you oblige, you follow their instructions, and you know, they basically kind of had you under their control. They felt good. They felt a lot of power in the situation. But once you decided to take your power back and you decided to not be under their control and they lost control over you, then that's when issues start happening. That's when they start talking about how you're being defiant, you're being rebellious, you're being ridiculous, you're being unreasonable, you're the one that's not listening, you're the one that's doing X, Y, and Z. You know, they'll make up so many insane things about you, all because they are upset that excuse me, they are upset because they cannot control you. Okay? They're upset because they can no longer control you. But let me tell you, you are not to be controlled by not any person. Okay? Not your siblings, not your parents, nobody. And if somebody is trying to control you in any type of relationship or connection, those are not your people. They're not your people because your people will want you to be free, not under their control. Okay. I don't want to cross that out. Okay, good. Now I want to talk about some good stuff. So the third thing. So what we're talking about now is for everyone that's just joining now, we're talking about dysfunctional families, and I have 10 signs of dysfunctional families. So we went over the first two. The first one was playing favorites. The second one was they like to control. Number 3, and this is a big one, and I know y'all gonna feel me on this. They're very judgmental. They are very judgmental, where they will judge you for every single thing that you do. Every single thing. And when they judge you, when a person is judging you, they're looking down on you. They're belittling you. They're turning your nose up at you. And it's like in the Bible, it talks about, how dare you point out the speck in someone else's eye when you're not even looking in the log of your own. So what that basically means is like, what that scripture is saying is don't be a hypocrite. Don't be a hypocrite. Don't get mad at someone else for what they're doing when you in fact do the same thing. And when people are judgmental, they're basically putting themselves up on this high pedestal and making it seem like they are holier than thou, that they are just so amazing. This is what they say, but they're grandiose. They're very, very pretentious. They pose themselves off as being these great people, but really they're not that great people. They're really not. And what they want to do is they're so insecure with their own selves that they have to put others down and turn their nose up at others, look down on other people to make themselves feel better. Because judgmental people put others down to make themselves feel better. They get joy out of talking poorly about other people. That's what judgmental people do. You know, they're so quick to point the fingers and play the blame game and mock other people and just put other people down to make themselves feel better. And that's how you know you're dealing with very insecure people. And another thing is, when you're judging someone, you're not having empathy. And that's another thing about narcissistic people. They lack empathy. They lack empathy. So when you place yourself when people place themselves in a position where they are judging another person or judging a situation that they really don't know much of, because you can tell them just bits and pieces of something that's going on in your life. And then all of a sudden they have this whole preconception and assumption of everything when they don't even have all of the facts about it. They're just judging based off of what they heard. But the thing is, they know what you've allowed them to know, but they think that they got everything figured out. Because they're so much on this pedestal, they're so pretentious. This is facts. This is logic. I know what I'm talking about. I know what's going on. You really don't, sweetheart. Don't delude yourself. Do not delude yourself, because you know what I've allowed you to know. You don't know everything that's going on. And for you to know bits and pieces of information and you automatically feel like you got the ending figured out, that's like you watching the first scene of a movie and you thinking that you know how this movie is going to end. Baby, you haven't even gotten to the climax yet. You ain't even got to the middle of the movie and you automatically think that you know how this movie going to end. Why don't you just give some time to actually watch the full movie, and then you'll be able to see stuff? But people that want to just jump to their conclusions are people that want to be right about something. You know what I'm saying? So when people judge you, they just want to be right. That's why they judge, because they feel I'm right. My perception, my opinion, my assumption is right and yours is wrong. Can't nobody judge you. And another thing about dysfunctional families is they're acting as if judging each other is an appropriate thing. They say, well, families are going to judge. Families are going to do that. Families are dysfunctional. You're not even thinking that that's an issue. You don't think that that's a problem for the fact that you're judging each other. You should not judge each other, because when you're judging each other, you're not giving each other that love. You're not being loyal to each other. And that's why you have a lot of dysfunction, because there's no loyalty. There's no trust. There's no real unconditional love. Everyone is just judging everybody else. And it's like, who are you to judge? You are nobody to judge somebody else. So get off your high horse, sit down. The Bible talks about how the exalted will be humbled and the humble will be exalted. So these people, they're on these high horse, they exalt themselves, they act like they're so superior in this high ranking position, and they place themselves on this high pedestal, but at some point God's gonna bring you down. You know, pride comes before the fall. If God has to humble you, you're gonna get faced with God's wrath, and you don't want God to have to humble you, because it's not gonna be a pretty sight. It's not gonna be pretty, and you're not gonna like it, and you're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel that burn. It's gonna be tough. So it's best to let go of your pride. Exactly. All right, number four. Number four, they gossip and slander your name. They gossip about you. And this is another thing about dysfunctional families, is what they'll do is they'll start talking about you to other siblings, to other parents, to other relatives. They just do so much, crap talk. I'm not gonna curse. They do so much talking about you behind your back, but they won't say none of this stuff to your face. Not everything that they say about you behind your back, they don't even have the courage nor the confidence to come say it to your face. Why? Because they know that a lot of the things that they're saying is assumptions, and it's not real, and it's not true. They know it's rumors, it's slander, and they don't want to bring it to your attention. They don't want to bring it to your face. So what they'll do is they'll be sitting up here slandering your name behind your back. They'll be talking about, things that you have done, and they'll stretch the truth. They'll exaggerate things. Like let's say you do something like, we all make mistakes. We have moments where we fall short. And what really blows me about dysfunctional families is whenever somebody does something wrong, then the whole family just talks about it. Y'all with me? The whole family talks about it. They love to talk about when someone does something wrong, and when someone makes a mistake, and they love to just spread it to everybody. Because then what'll happen is you're going to have other family members coming up to you like, yeah, so I heard that you done did this, or you still doing that thing, or yeah, you doing this. And it's like, sweetheart, I didn't even tell you about this thing, so how do you know that? Because your family gossiped about you and talked about you behind your back. And for those messy family members to come back to you and say, yeah, I heard that you said that you did this and you did this, that's not appropriate. That's not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to like, no, bro, you ain't supposed to do that. Because what's happening here is, instead of like, it's different if you actually want to like help this person out or something like that. But what'll happen is they'll bring your business to you and belittle you and make fun of you and make a mockery of you with that. But they're not here to like help you and stuff. Or other things that can happen is they can hear something about you and they don't even know if it's true or not, but they'll just instantly believe it, and they'll come back to you and say, well, so-and-so said that you do this. And they're like already assuming what this person has said. They already have their assumption laid out. And that's wrong. It's very wrong. Because how can you, it's like you haven't even gone to the source yet to ask them, like, is this true, or did this happen, or what's going on with that? I mean, yeah, they kind of talk to me about it, but I just want to know what's going, because there's a difference between, yeah, I heard this, and they kind of like, doing a little head nod and stuff like that, because they're basically kind of, it's very condescending, it's very sassy, it's very like, it's kind of like, I don't even know the word I'm looking for, but it's condescending, it's messy, it's wrong. And they're not really trying to help you. But there's a difference between them actually saying like, hey, I heard some of this, but before I jump to any conclusions, I just want to know what's your side of the story. What's your take on it? Let me hear your truth. At that point, that's when people are basically being neutral in the situation. But when people gossip and slander your name, they're being biased. They're taking a side. So when they come to you and say, yeah, you did this, they're basically taking a side, and they're basically throwing it back in your face. They're rubbing it in your face. Because when they hear about your business, they come back to you to rub it in your face. To rub it in your face. Not to help you, not to, bring things better for you, but they just do it to rub it in your face. And when they hear these things in your mind, when they hear these things about what you have done in the past and stuff like that, they hear about your mistakes or anything that you've done wrong, because your family is gossiping about you, they jump to once again, they judge you, and they jump to all of these conclusions and feel like they got you all figured out, when they don't really know jack about what's going on. They don't. So I say this. If they're slandering your name behind your back, saying whatever they want to say, let them talk. Let them talk. If they're gonna talk about you, let them talk. Because eventually what's gonna happen is they're gonna have to eat their words. And eventually, as many words as they just spoke about you, when they're gonna have to eat those words, they might eventually start choking on their words that they just said to you. They might. And if that happens, that just happens. Because you basically need to stop. Well, not them. They basically need to stop doing all of this gossiping and talking about everybody else as if their life is just so peachy keen and fine. Because anytime somebody is doing a lot of gossiping and slandering, that's because they want to avoid the problems in their own life. They don't want to have to deal with their issues. So they want to start focusing their energy and attention on someone else to make themselves feel better about their own life. And that's wrong. And that's why you become the black sheep, because they want to point out your shortcomings, but they don't want to look at their own. So if they gossip, if they slander, let them, because karma is going to come back to bite them. Never touch the thermostat. Yeah, live with your father. Okay. Okay, anyway. Number 5. What they do is they start drama. Sorry, y'all. Okay, number 5, what they do is they start drama and pick fights with you. Or they'll start arguments with you. So, you ever notice how you could just be chilling, doing your own thing, you're not bothering nobody, you kind of off doing your own thing, like you could be in your room or just in another part of the house, just doing your own thing, not bothering nobody, not being mean to nobody, you really just to yourself. And then they want to come and pick fights with you, it's because they hate to see you in a peaceful state. They want to come disturb your peace because they feed off of your energy. It gives them fuel. When they know that they can get you all riled up, that gives them fuel. That's their narcissistic supply. They're narcissists. That's their supply. Their supply is them coming after you and attacking you, and you reacting and them feeling good about your reaction, which is reactive abuse. It's reactive abuse. If they intentionally come and provoke you and then you react, that's reactive abuse, because that's exactly what they are looking for. That's what they say. Do not engage, do not react, don't respond. Just leave them be. Don't give them what they want. So they like to pick fights with you because narcissists love to gain power. They love to be right and they love to win. They love to win in every single situation. So what they'll do is they'll come and pick an argument with you so that they can just argue you down, so that they can end up winning the argument and being right, so that gives them that power. It gives them that fuel. And what narcissists want to do is they want to take your energy. So they want to take away your power. So they feel that they start an argument with you and they fight with you, and they get you out of your character and they get all this fuel. They then took a lot of your power and fueled themselves up, because they don't have as much energy within themselves to fuel themselves, so they have to take it from other people. So the way that you continue to remain in your power and don't give your power away is for you to not engage. Don't engage with them. If they want to argue with you, you just say, okay, girl, okay, brother, like, insert name. Like, okay, girl, okay, boy, okay. One word, 2 letters, that's all you got to say. Because listen, the more, and listen, I understand how difficult this is, because when someone's coming at you and then they're attacking you, a natural reaction is for you to defend yourself. And a natural reaction is for you to stand up for yourself. Absolutely, you need to defend yourself. Absolutely, you need to stick up for yourself. But you have to be discerning on when is the right time to do it. When is the right time? Because if you know that they're just, if you're like, can be aware that what they're doing is really to just put you down and take away your power, don't engage. Don't engage. because it's only going to hurt you in the process. It's only going to deplete your energy. It's only going to drain you. And then you ever notice how when you end up fighting or arguing with a narcissist, with one of your narcissistic family members, how you will spend so much time throughout your day trying to calm yourself down, trying to relax yourself. Like you may have to have moments where you may have to leave the house, leave the comfort of your own home, maybe go walk outside, maybe walk around the block, walk to the park, or, you know, for those of you that have cars, you may have to get in your car, go drive around somewhere. You may even drive to just some random place. You may drive to Walmart and just walk around just to kind of cool yourself down. At that point now, you have to distract yourself so you can calm yourself down. At this point in time, now your energy and time is being taken away from what you could have been doing. Like you could have been, you know, doing some work for yourself. You could have been focusing on, you could have been doing anything that could have been investing into yourself. But now that time and energy is taken away from you. And now you have to do whatever it is that you need to do in order to calm yourself down, in order to create your peace. And a lot of times what happens is that when you get to arguing with them and then the arguments escalate, then the only way for you to diffuse the situation at that point is for you to walk away. Sometimes you may actually have to leave the house in order to get your peace. Because if you stay in the house, they're still going to continue the drama. Now, there have been times where, you know, you may think that, like, if y'all are, like, let's say you and your family is arguing or something, and you walk away and you go into the other room, you may go into the basement, you may go into your room or something like that. What they'll do is to try to continue to get you riled up. They'll start talking to each other. Like, let's say you got into an argument with your sibling, and then you walk away from the argument. Then you overhear your sibling talking. Maybe they could be talking on the phone to somebody about you, or they could be talking to another sibling or your parent about you. And sometimes what they'll do is they'll talk loud enough so that you hear them, so that you hear everything that they're saying about you, just so you can come back into the argument and defend yourself even more. Like, them speaking super loud is their invitation to bring you back into the argument, because they're saying a lot of stuff about you that isn't true. They're saying a lot of gossip. They're saying a lot of slander. They're just jumping to their conclusions, and they're doing all of this because they want to continue the argument. It's ridiculous. It's childish. It's immature, and it's ridiculous. It's just straight up verbal abuse, psychological, emotional abuse. They're trying to take your emotions from you. They're trying to get your emotions down. It's like seeing you happy and healthy and at peace bothers them. So you mean to tell me that you're supposed to be around your family, you're supposed to be cool, buddy with your family, when they don't even like to see you happy and at peace? I'm sorry, but those are not your people. If you're the black sheep of your family, you were born into a family that is karmic family. Hear me when I say this. If you were born into a narcissistic family and you are the black sheep, that is your karmic family. That's not your soul family. That's not your soul family. Your soul family is out there. They're out there. You're going to have people that's going to treat you the way that you deserve to be treated, because family is defined as unconditional love and loyalty and respect and appreciation. And if they don't give you loyalty, if they break your trust, if they betray you, if they don't love you unconditionally, they only love you conditionally, as long as you do what they say, or as long as you oblige or live that role that they want you to live, those are not your people. And I get how difficult it is, because we're brought up in this dysfunction, and we do love these people. Like, at the end of the day, we still love them. We still love our family, even though we may not like them, even though we may not always we may not get along, even though we may not always like want to speak to them or want to be around them. We still love them. And sometimes it's difficult, because it's like you know that you have to cut them off for your peace, but there's a grieving process in that. You grieve that. It's normal to grieve. It's normal to grieve your family that you have to let go of. But understand that if you keep these people around, it's gonna be a hamster wheel. It's gonna be a constant cycle, and it's gonna stress you out even more, and you don't need that. You don't need that at all. So yes, it is difficult for you to have to walk away, but your peace is what matters at the end of the day. Because you'll realize that when you separate yourself from them, how you're not distracted by them, you don't have to deal with the drama, the negativity, and you'll realize, like, wow, I just went a whole day with no drama. I just went through a whole day and I was at peace. You can still have this peace. This peace is your birthright. You can continue to have this peace when you permanently remove yourself. And sometimes what happens is, I understand where, you know, your finances may not allow at the time for you to permanently remove yourself, and you may have to do some things where you have to work to save up to get yourself out of that position. And I understand how that's difficult. And sometimes when you're in those situations like that, sometimes when you're in those situations like that, because they continue to cause so much trauma, that you got to take time away from you trying to work and do what you got to do to heal yourself from this trauma. And the reason why is it takes longer for you to heal when you're around these dysfunctional families is because they're constantly re-wounding you. It's like this, think of an analogy of like someone taking a sword and stabbing you. They stab you here, and then boom, you patch it up, you heal that wound, and then boom, they stab you again. Okay, boom, they stab you again. So every time you heal something, there's another wound that you have to heal from. And every time you get stabbed, it slows you down. It slows you down because now you got to rest. Now you got to heal. Now you got to attend to your wounds. You shouldn't have to live each day having to attend to your wounds. It should not be a war zone in your household. You shouldn't be battling with the people that you live with every single day. That's tiring. That's exhausting. That's draining. You don't have to deal with that. Because you're dealing with the enemy. The enemy is working through those people to get to you. Black sheep, you dealing with spiritual attacks. And this is what I have said about the black sheep, is that you're not a sheep. You're a lion. You are a lion, because a sheep is small. You know what I'm saying? A sheep is like the size of a dog. You know what I'm saying? But black sheep, you're a lion. How do you know that you're a lion? Because you're king of the jungle. You're queen of the jungle. You rule that household. You rule that whole place. Because everything goes, you ever notice when the black sheep walks away, everything goes kind of like into dysfunction. Everything crumbles from underneath it. It's like all hell breaks loose at that point. Yeah, it does. Because you are the glue that keeps everything together. You are the glue that keeps all of that together. But I say that you're a lion because of how strong you are. And think of it this way. Think of a lion, think of a big lion, not a baby cub, but like a grown lion, whether male or female, and a sheep, and they're like about to battle out against each other. So imagine that picture. Like if you're a woman, then think that you're a woman lion. If you're a male, think that you're a male lion, with your man and everything. So imagine a lion and a sheep about to fight each other. Who do you think is going to win that fight? The sheep is not going to win that fight. If it's just one sheep by themselves, that sheep is not going to win. That lion will tear that sheep up in a split second. It'll take seconds for that lion to defeat that sheep. They know that you're that strong. So what they have to do is they have to actually take multiple people to come against you. That's why you're always outnumbered. That's why you always get ganged up on. That's why they always come and attack you when they always have multiple people coming against you, is because they know that they can't take you by themselves. They know that they have no chance against you by themselves because you're too strong. They know that they have to have other people to join in with them to fight against you. You ever notice how it could be you and a narcissistic sibling? Y'all could be having a whole argument. And then you are the one that's trying to diffuse the situation. You're trying to walk away. And then what happens is they may want to, when the parent comes around, they may want to continue to instigate the argument and then invite the narcissistic parent into the argument with them just so the two of them can tag team and come against you. They do this on purpose because they know that they don't stand no chance against you. They stand no chance against you because you'll be noticing that you'll be saying things. You'll be realizing that you actually winning this battle. You're winning the argument. But the thing is, narcissists, they don't want to lose. They don't want to lose. They would do whatever it is that they can to win. That's exactly why they bring other people into the argument just to come against you. Exactly. Come on now. We gonna move on. Oh, y'all gonna like this one. Number 6. They are jealous and envious of you. They are jealous and envious of you. And this is a lot of reasons as to why there's so much strife and conflict and resentment between you and your siblings. And, you know, the crazy thing is that your siblings could have more than you physically. Like, they could have more than you tangibly. Like, you can have siblings where they have degrees, or they have, you know, good paying jobs. They can have their own place. They can have their own vehicles. They could be married. They can have children. They can have that ideal American dream life. And you could be sitting here unemployed, or maybe working a regular job, not married. You could be single. You could not even be a parent yet. You could probably, maybe like if you're young, you know what I'm saying, you're still living at home or whatever, you're just figuring things out. They could still be jealous of you. So even though it looks like they have more, they could still be jealous of you. Why? Because it does not matter how much you have tangibly. It's about how you feel on the inside. And they feel that even though they have all these accolades and all these accomplishments that they have in their life, but they see you and they see the spirit that you carry. They see the inner strength that you have, and they know that they don't have that same inner strength. They see the confidence that you have within yourself, the faith that you have in God, and they may not have reached that level yet. They see the independence that you have, and they know that they don't have it, so they're threatened by that. They could see the type of wisdom that you carry, and they know that if they don't have that same amount of wisdom, if they don't have the same amount of maturity, then they feel threatened by that. And or talent, thank you. They could see the talent that you have, and then they could feel threatened by that, because they think like, how come they're more talented than I am? How come they can sing and I can't? Because it's all a competition with them. That's why they always try to one-up you. That's why they always try to build themselves up by putting themselves down. I had my narcissistic sibling saying to me the other day, like, and I could tell that she was being very superficial with it, and she wasn't really real about it. She was just talking the good talk. And she's, well, I'm super happy, and I'm just very happy with my life. I'm the happiest I've ever been. But I don't know about you. I don't know about if you're happy. I don't know if you're miserable, or, well, she didn't say all that. But, well, I don't know if you're happy. I don't know how you're feeling about your life. I can't speak on that. But basically, if you read in between the lines, what she was basically saying is, I'm happy. I don't know about you. You may be miserable, but I don't know about all of that. But I know I'm happy. It's always a competition. It's always, let me make myself feel good by putting you down. It's always a competition with them. But the reality is, because they are so envious of you, they are so jealous that they can't even hide it. They can't even hide it. And you know by the way that they treat you. They talk to you crazy, they treat you crazy, and if you know that how they will start to they'll start to lash out on you very quickly. That's what I was trying to figure out. Short fuse. They're very short fuse. Like, it could be the smallest thing that you can do, and then they just blow up and start going after you. It's because that envy is mixed with wrath. And when that envy and wrath come together, that demon comes out, and then boom, they unleash that monster. Green with envy. Why do you think they call envy the green monster? I don't know who that is. Why they call envy the green monster is because it is a monster. So when a person is envious of you and they're jealous of you, that monster is going to come out. It's going to come out, and that monster has a very, very short temper. A very short temper. And when you don't treat them the way that they feel they should be treated, when you kind of, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, jealous siblings will talk so much crap about you behind your back. And of course, you will always find out about this, because everything that's done in the dark is going to come to the light, because what God is going to allow to happen, your angels, your spirit guides, black sheep, your ancestors, everybody, they're going to let you know who you can trust and who you cannot trust. And sometimes when this comes and it's brought to your attention, you kind of like, well, dang, they said all of that. Well, dang, what I do to them? Well, dang. Because they want you to let those people go, because they can't go to the next level with you. You got to sever those ties. You got to cut those cords. You got to, cut ties with those people. Because if you continue to have those people in your life, it's only going to hold you back. It's going to hinder you, and it's going to weigh you down. And you don't need the type of energy in your life. You don't need you don't need envy and like that envious energy that close to you. Now listen, black sheep, you're going to have people that are going to be a little envious of you at times, you know, because you're doing so great in your life. You can have complete strangers that are jealous of you. You can have people at work that are jealous of you, and you just keep your distance. But if you deal with this in your own home, in your own household, you're going to have to create some distance because they are too close to your energetic field. They're too close to your auric field. And you can't have that type of energy in your aura because it's going to taint your aura. So the reason as to why you find this stuff out, you know, it's like a little birdie told me that you said, the little birdie comes around and tells you what happens. It's because you were meant to know that. You were meant to find out what these people were saying about you behind your back, so that way you can know these people can't be trusted. These people don't really like you. They don't really care about you. They really don't. They really don't. They could love you and still not like you. They cannot really care for you. But you have to know this so that you can leave these people alone, so that you can finally let them go. So you can finally let them go. And I know it's difficult, I know it's hard because you love them. These are your family members, this is your immediate family, or sometimes it could be distant, you know, it could be relatives, you know, cousins, aunts, uncles, grandparents, you know, whomever. But you gotta let these people go. You gotta love them from a distance. Now, everybody's situation is different. So somebody, I feel like I just say this right now. If you feel like you have to completely go no contact and cut them off, like you feel like, you know, when I move away, I'm gonna block all of their numbers. Who am I speaking to? I'm gonna block all of their numbers. I'm not gonna let them. Distractions. Oh wow, 2012. Okay. Yeah, I'm filming. He said 2012. Wow, that's a long, someone said 2012. They always popping up. They do always do that. Going on 6 years, and I'm definitely okay with that. I understand, and listen, so that's what I'm saying. And a lot of people say, like, you know, but that's still your dad, that's still your mom, that's still your sister, your brother. You gotta, because the same rules don't apply when it comes to you. Because if you were still their daughter or still their sister or still their brother, why don't people say the same thing to them? You see how it's always a double standard? So it's like, that's still your, like, they always say, but that's still your blood family. That don't mean that you gotta condone abuse. That don't mean that you gotta take that abuse from them. That's not what it's supposed to be like. No, absolutely not. So I'm not sure what, you know, what everyone's experience is like, because everybody's experience is different. And if your experience was so traumatic, it was so abusive, it was so ridiculous to the point where you feel like, I have to cut these people off and go no contact for your healing, baby, do whatever you need to do. Don't let anybody ever, listen to me when I say this to you, don't let nobody guilt trip you into keeping in contact with toxic, narcissistic people just because they're blood family. You have to heal on your own. You have to heal in any type of way that you need to. And if you have to heal by not being in contact with them, by blocking them, by not letting them have any access to you, then do that, because you got to do whatever it is for your healing. Now listen, it's not going to be that, you may not be that forever. You may eventually grow out of that. When you fully heal from those experiences and you grow and you evolve and you're a different person at this, you know what I'm saying, 5, 10 years later, 15 years later, you may come back around. You may come back around to your family and say, I've healed fully. Now I can talk to you all. Now I can actually be around you all. Now we can be in contact. You can do that. But do not allow somebody to guilt trip you into doing that. You know what I'm saying? Because people would try to, like, people would say stuff like that to you because they want you to accommodate them when you have to heal from what they said to you. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to your healing, you're not supposed to accommodate your abusers. Let me say that again. When it comes to your healing, you do not have to accommodate your abusers. So if you have to heal by not being in contact with them, by not having access to them, by not coming around them, you know what I'm saying, where, you know, holidays come around, and if you don't want to come around for those holidays because you want to just chill to yourself and create your own traditions, then do that. Because I can guarantee, like, you know, you could be a person right now where Or this can happen in the future where, you know, you eventually have your own family. You have your own significant other. You have your own children. So at that point, that's your family. And if you just want to spend time around your spouse and your children, then do that. And if you may want to go spend time with your spouse's family and not with your family, do whatever you need to do. Whatever's going to make you happy, whatever's going to keep your spirits high, then do that. But do not, and I repeat, do not put yourself into a situation where you have to compromise your peace to accommodate somebody. Why? Because that's people-pleasing behaviors, and you are growing out of that. That's people-pleasing behaviors, and you're growing out of that. See, a lot of times, toxic families, dysfunctional, narcissistic families, they want to manipulate you into keeping you in their life just so they can continue to abuse you, because they want a punching bag. They want a doormat to walk all over. They want a punching bag to take all their anger and frustrations out on, because when you are not there anymore, they have to face themselves. They have to deal with themselves and know that they have issues and they have problems. And they can't sit there and blame it on somebody else. That's why the family falls apart when the scapegoat walks away, because they have to face their own music. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's move on to, you know what, where's my water? Let me grab my water real quick. I am parched. Okay, hold on. I got it. I swear I own like pink everything. Like, yeah, I know. Okay, so that was 6. We got 4 more, and then we're almost done. Okay. So, number 7. Number 7, they gaslight you. They gaslight you. Okay? You know what I'm talking about. So, dysfunctional families love to gaslight the black sheep of the family, because they want to deny your reality. They know that they have been abusive towards you. They know that they've mistreated you. They know that they've been rude and mean to you. But once again, they don't want to be perceived as somebody that did something wrong and that could do wrong. So what they try to do is they try to say, well, I didn't even say that to you. I don't even remember that. What are you talking about? Or that's not even what happened, and I didn't even say that, and you're just being too sensitive. Or the infamous, you're delusional. You need help. You need therapy. You know, that statement is so true about people go to therapy to deal with people that don't want to go to therapy. So I'm telling you, let them do their talking. If they want to sit up there and call you delusional, let them call you delusional. If they want to try to sit up there and try to tell you that didn't happen, or you're too sensitive and it's all in your head, let them. Let them. You know, good to forgive but learn from the past. You know, I had almost read that as Father, forgive them for they not know what they do. But that's what it is, truly. You know, Father, forgive them for they know not what they do. You know, they don't even, and this is what I'm saying about how, like, narcissistic people, they're very childish and they're very emotionally immature. And black sheep, you are the most mature one in your family. And because they cannot meet you at your level and they can't take accountability for what they've done, when the mirror is when a mirror is placed in front of them like this, they don't want to look at it. So what they'll do is, like, the mirror is like this, they go, nope, that's not true, that's not it, no, you're crazy. That's why they do that, because they're not ready to face the mirror. They're not ready to look themselves in the mirror and be like, you know what, I am wrong. I am wrong. Because listen, black sheep, you learned how to face your own demons. This is why you have no fear. This is why you fear nobody on this earth. You don't fear no man. You don't fear no woman. You fear God, but that's the only person that you fear. You don't feel nothing on this earth, because the scariest person on this earth is the demons that's inside of you. And when you learn how to face your own inner demons, and when you learn how to face those emotions, face those entities that's inside of you, you have nothing else to fear. But you see what happens, it takes courage to do that. It takes a lot of courage in order for you to face your own demons and take accountability for what you've done. That takes a lot of strength. It takes a lot of maturity. Those people haven't reached that level yet. They can't do that. So what happens is when situations happen where things are being laid out on the table, and and this is when they love to point the fingers at you and talk about how you're the wrong one and you're the one that did something wrong, and they point the fingers as if they didn't do something themselves. They gaslight you because they're not ready to take accountability for what they have done. They don't want to take that responsibility. They don't want to hold themselves accountable. So to avoid that, they want to try to throw it back on you and say, no, you're the problem. Because in order for them to be right, you have to be wrong. That's what they do that for. They want to be right, so they make you out to be wrong. Let me tell you something. Nothing good comes from gaslighting. You cannot heal if you're gaslighting people. You cannot. And what's going to happen is karma comes back to bite. So what's going to happen is they're going to have situations that occur in their life where someone's going to treat them the same exact way that they treated you. And when they come to those people and say, you did this to me and you did that, those people are going to gaslight them. Those people are going to say, I never even did that to you. You're delusional. You're crazy. And that's when they're going to realize, wow, those same, where have I heard these words before? I said these words. I said those words to my sibling. And then boom, the light bulb goes on and they realize, wow. And hopefully, I just hope and pray that this happens, because it may not happen, but hopefully, let's be optimistic. Hopefully when the light bulb goes on, that's when they reach their self-realization moment, and that's when they can reach their breakthrough. That's when they can heal, because they realize all of this stuff that is happening to me currently is based off of what I did to my own sibling, however in the past, however long ago it was. Because karma is going to come, if everything is going to come full circle and it's going to come back around, it's going to come to them 10 times worse so that they can learn their lesson. So that's why I say this. Let them gaslight. Let them do whatever they want to do, because at the end of the day, you have to face yourself in the mirror. You got to face God at the end of the day. And if you took accountability for yourself and your actions, then that's fine. But if they're not taking accountability for theirs, that's on them. It ain't even your fault at this point. That's on them. That's on them. That's their problem, and God's gonna have to deal with them. Sometimes you gotta just leave people where they at. You gotta just leave people where they are. If that's where they want to be, if that's who they want to be, if they're more comfortable being emotionally immature, let them. Because we cannot force people to change. And I understand the frustration. I do. I feel you on that. I feel y'all on that. Because we see the problem. We see right through the illusion. We see the issues that's going on within these families, and we want to fix it. But we got to remember that they can only fix it when they are willing to. They can only fix it when they're willing to. We can't do nothing about that. The only thing that we can do is stand in our truth. And also, don't argue too much with them. You speak your piece, you speak your truth, and be done with it. Just be like, I'm going to speak my truth, but I'm only going to say this once. This, blah, 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 boom. And that is it. That's all I'm going to say. And you walk away, and you leave them with that. Now, of course, they're probably still going to try to say, no, that's not even it. It's not this. And you're delusional. Let them keep on talking because they want to get the last word, because they want to be right, because they want to have that power. Let them, whatever floats their boat. It's like, if them having the last word and saying all of this and blaming you, baby, if that's going to help you sleep at night, then by all means do that, because I ain't about to lose no sleep dealing with you. There is no rest for the wicked. They have to be wicked in order for them to sleep at night. Okay, exactly. Oh, please don't. Okay. Please don't tell me she's going to come over this house. Lord, please do not allow her to come in this house, whatever, because I can hear her on the phone talking to my dad right now. And if she come over to this house, I'm not trying to deal with her. The fact that we catching this live on camera right now, because I can hear my sister on the phone calling my daddy. Hi, daddy. Oh my gosh. Lord help me. Okay, now we're going to get to number 8. Let me get to number 8. Y'all was laughing at me. Y'all like, oh Lord, she. Okay, number 8. This is a big one, and I know y'all gonna feel me on this one. Number 8. Dysfunctional toxic families, they use and take advantage of you. They use and take advantage of you. So let's say that you're a person that you have a lot of money. Like, let's say you have a job that's a really nice, decent paying job. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of money. They'll come use you for your money. They'll come take advantage of you for your money. Like, hey, you know what? Can you help me pay this bill because my water got shut off? Can you help me pay this cable bill because I need to do this? Can you help me do this because I need some gas in my car and my car is on E and I ain't got no money for this? You are not an ATM, baby. You are not an ATM. You are not a bank. You are not JP Morgan Chase. No. You are a human being and you have worked for your money. You've worked for your money. You've earned that money and you do not have to give it to anybody just because they're your family. You can tell them no. Now, baby, let me tell you something. You could have 100 stacks in your account and they could come ask you for some money. You do not have to give it to them. Just because you have it to give, it doesn't mean you have to give it. Because with that abundance that you have, God is blessing you, not them. God's blessing you, not them. You've earned that money. You deserve that abundance. They don't. And what can happen, this is another thing about dysfunctional families, like toxic families and toxic people, is that they're greedy, they're gluttony. They take more than what they need. They don't necessarily need the money from you. They just want to hoard their money to themselves. And they want to be like, it's kind of like the Four of Pentacles. You know, like Four of Pentacles is a person that's, like, in one of my tarot decks, the Four of Pentacles, this dude is holding on to his money, like his pentacles like this, close tight to himself because they're stingy. They want to keep their stuff to themselves, but they still want to have their hand out and say, but can I have some more? Baby, you got all of that money in your bank account. You got a fat ass stack of cash, but you do not want to spend it on yourself. You don't want to spend your own money. You want to take somebody else's money. They take advantage of that because they're takers. They're takers. They take more than they need. They don't need it. So tell them no. But aside from the money, they could take advantage and use you for, the things that you do. Like if you're a person that, let's say that you're because a lot of times Black sheep, we're good at like keeping the house in some order. Like we cook, we clean, we babysit children, like whether it's your nieces and nephews, little cousins or younger siblings or whatever. What can happen is they'll basically say like, hey, can you watch them? Can you watch them and can you babysit and stuff like that? But then what they'll do is you'll watch them and you'll babysit, but then they'll be gone for so long, leaving you to watch these kids because they're like, well, you know what? She got it. He got it. They'll be fine. Let's go off and do our own thing. So they want to joyride and live their life and be happy and do their own thing, leaving you to watch their children. But let's not even forget about how sometimes they won't even pay you. They gonna waste all of your day and not even compensate you. Or if they do compensate you, it's this much. You had a whole day of watching these people's children. They want to give you a dub. Give you $20, $30, $40. And it's like, baby, you better give me what I'm worth. You better give me for how much I've earned. But you know what I'm telling you, they stingy. They stingy. And they want to take advantage of you. They want to use you. They want to use you for your resource. They want to use you for your energy. They want to use you to help you kind of like help them carry the weight. And they want to have you around just to help them carry the weight. And then it's like once they kind of get like a better better handle at their life and they got a more balance and everything and they maybe have other people coming in to help carry that weight, then it's kind of like, well, you know what? We got this. We don't even need you no more. You could just bow. You could just go on and they just discard you and act as if like you weren't helping them this entire time until this new help came in. And that's wrong. And that's wrong. Because they will use you and take advantage of you and then try to act like you did nothing for them. Back to number 7, they gaslight you. Try to say, oh, you don't even help. You don't even do nothing. But you do stuff. But they don't want to admit it. So do not allow them to use you and take advantage of you. Do not go into this new year with that energy. Forgive yourself in the past. If you've allowed them to use you and take advantage of you, let it go. You can't change that. You can't change what happened in the past, but you can learn from those lessons and learn from those mistakes and not let it happen again because you don't need that energy. Nope. Last 2, y'all. Number 9, and I'll speak about this briefly. they betray your trust. Number 9, they betray your trust. And you know what? I'm going to do this, y'all. As I'm going into the last 2, I'm going to drop my Cashapp. You know, if you all feel ever so generous and you would like to donate to myself, then by all means, please do so. Okay. All right. Thanks, y'all. Real quick. Ooh. Okay. All right. So, number 9, they will betray your trust. So what can happen is you could come to your siblings or come to your family and speak to them about things that's going on with your life, and you can speak to them with confidence. You know, you can be revealing to them some very personal things. And you could probably tell them, please don't tell nobody about this, just keep this between us. And what they'll do is they'll go behind your back and they'll start telling other people anyway. They'll start telling your business to other people. They'll tell your business to the rest of your siblings, the rest of your family, to your parents, because they're trying to make you look bad. And you're kind of thinking like, well, I just told you all of this in confidence and you go back and you break my trust. They betray your trust. They do it on purpose because they're trying to sabotage you. They're trying to make you look bad. They do, by any means necessary, they just want to tear you down. They just want to put you down. They just want to cause misery into your life. And this is why I learned from my own experience. Excuse me. I learned from my own experience. When it's something that's very, very important to you, do not tell them. Because that was a big mistake that I made. It was something that was very important to me. And I told my family about it. I told certain people about it in the family. And they just went around and told everybody else and caused a lot of conflict, caused a lot of strife in my life, caused a lot of drama in my life. And all of that could have been avoided had I listened to my intuition and not told them. Because I will tell you, before I even told this sibling, before I even told the sibling about that specific thing, my intuition was telling me, don't. It kept screaming, do not. And then I did it. And my higher self was just like, God, girl, did not tell you not. Did not tell you not to do that because your little self is hard-headed. I get it. Don't be hard-headed. Don't be hard-headed. Listen. So if your intuition is telling you not to say things to somebody, don't do it because they will betray your trust. So, I mean, look, from here going forward, especially when it comes to your relationships with other people, a lot of times they don't want to see you happy. Like, they don't want to see you in a loving relationship because, you being happy, you being in peace, you being in love is going to make them feel some type of way. So when it comes to your relationships, do not tell them anything. Especially if you're in the early talking stages, baby, you don't say anything to them until that relationship is fully official. Until it's fully official. When you two are officially together, then you can tell other people about it. But until then, keep it on the down low. And even if you don't want to tell them, or even if you want to do stuff like you say, yeah, I have a boyfriend, or yeah, I have a girlfriend, you ain't got to bring them around the family just yet. You can wait until it's ready. You can say, I'm going to hang out with them and stuff, or I'm doing this. You can keep that very private. Keep it low key. Wait until you be so low key. Wait until you get engaged before you decide telling them about it. Because at that point, y'all done already took your relationship to the whole next level that can't nobody try to stop and sabotage you. Because what they'll do is they'll realize, if I can stop this before it even gets off the ground, then they feel like they didn't accomplish something. Because they want to see you miserable. They want to see you upset. They want to see you down. They want to see you single and lonely and miserable. Because they're like, no, I'm the only person that's supposed to be in a relationship. I'm the only person supposed to be married, not them. They're supposed to be single and miserable and lonely all the time. Terriann Genius would say, where they do that at? You know what I'm saying? They will betray your trust, and you got to get away from those people. Another thing, too, let's talk about relationships, too. When it comes to your business, when it comes to your when I mean business, I mean let's say let's say you open your own business, your own LLC, or when it comes to things that you're doing for work, for your career. Let's use that word. When it comes to your career, Don't tell them everything that's going on. Especially, do not tell them how much money you make. Do not tell them how much money you earn. I don't care how much they ask you. I don't care. Come on, you can tell me. I want to know. Why do you want to know? Ask them this question. Why do you want to know so bad how much money I make? Is that going to help you sleep at night? Is that going to make you feel better? What exactly is that going to do for yourself and your life and your mental sanity? Why do you want to know so bad? Answer that question before I answer my question. But then this is what they'll do. You can't answer a question with a question. When you ask me a question that I didn't want to even bring it up to you, see, that's the thing. They be so... It be the double standards. They come to you questioning you about your life, but when you question them about the questions that they're asking, then they want to look at you like you got an issue. How that work? Be like, why don't you answer me the question as to why you want to know that before I answer that for you? Or riddle me that. You know what I'm saying? Yes, say I'll make enough to get by, period. Oh, thank you, girl. Thank you for saying it. Because this is what you got to say. When they start asking you questions, keep it very vague and keep it very surface level. If they say like, hey, what's going on with you? Like, hey, you working? Yeah, I'm working. Where you working at? I'm just, don't worry about that. I'm just working. You making money? Yeah, I make money. How much you making? I'll make enough to get by. You're going, thank you, girl. I'm going to use that. Thank you for saying I'm going to use that. We can use that. She just gave us something to say. You could be like, I'll make enough to get by. I'll make enough. I make enough to pay my bills. I make enough to do what I gotta do. Leave it surface level. Leave it very surface level. Because they want to know all this information because they want to know this information for a few different reasons. One, they just want to see how good you're doing to see if you're doing better than them. And when they know that you're not doing better than them, that's going to fuel their ego. It's going to be their ego satisfaction. Also, they want to know what's going on in your life because they want to try to sabotage you. They want to try to speak ill will over your life, and they want to try to put that evil negative energy on stuff. Like if you tell them that you're going after something, like let's say you're going after this job at Amazon. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to be an Amazon worker, and you tell them then what they'll do is they'll speak evil lie. I hope she don't get that job I hope you don't even get that job at Amazon. Why? Because Amazon pays decent. Amazon pays well. And they don't want you to be making all of that money. They want you to be working some regular, minimum wage job that's less than $10 an hour. You know what I'm saying? That's what they want to have you doing. That's what makes you feel better. So do not tell them things about you, about what you're doing with your life, because they want to try to speak ill will on it. Or what they'll try to do is, if you tell them what it is that you're doing, they'll try to basically question you as to, well, you think that's going to be good? You think you're going to be good enough to deal with that? Ankle kind of whatever. Okay. So that's why you gotta stop telling these people what you're dealing with or what's going on in your life, because you don't want that negative energy to come after you. What people don't know, they cannot ruin. What people don't know, they cannot ruin. Don't allow people to ruin things that's going on in your life by telling them too much information. You learned your lesson in the past by telling people your business, by telling your toxic family your business. You learned your lesson in the past. Don't repeat those same mistakes, because you're going to get the same results. Don't think that you're going to get something different, because you're really not. I'm going to just be real. You're not going to get a different result. You're not. If they betrayed your trust before, they can do it again. If they told your business before, they're going to do it again. If they spoke ill will on yourself, on your things, on your life, they're going to do it again. So the best thing for you to do is to not give in and to do something different. It's to have a different approach. Don't give them all of the details about things. Even if they're asking you for details, say, that's none of your business. Have better boundaries with yourself and have better boundaries with them, because they are not entitled to know your business just because they are your family. And especially when you're grown, that's your grown business. You are a grown folk. And tell folks to stay out, because you know how when we were a child, they would say, stay out of grown folks' business. Well, you know what? Other adults need to stay out of other people's grown folks' business, because it's none of their business. It's none of their business on what you're doing with your life and what you're doing with your career or your money, or like your money, your career, your relationship is nobody's business. And they need to stay out of grown folks' business. Tell them that. Tell them, stay out of grown folks' business. I am a grown folk, and so am I. Mind your business. Mind your own. Tell them, why don't you just mind your business? Tell them to mind their business. They don't want to hear that, though. You ain't wrong for that, though. I mean, you ain't got to, curse them out and be all obnoxious and passive-aggressive and disrespectful. But just in the best way that you can, you know, like respectfully, it's none of your business. You know what I'm saying? Lastly, and I spoke about this before, we're gonna go back into it. Number 10, dysfunctional toxic families, they spread your business to other family members. And we had already talked about this, and we can just reiterate one more time. They spread your business. They spread your business because they want to make you look bad. They spread your business because they want to slander your name. They want to gossip about you. They, you know, they don't really. The reason is to why, what it all boils down to, the reason as to why they spread your business is because they just don't like you. They don't really like you. Because if they liked you, they wouldn't be going around talking about you behind your back, spreading your business to other people, trying to make you look bad. If they liked you, if they respected you, they wouldn't have done that. But they don't like you, and they don't respect you. So if they disrespecting you behind your back, then they will disrespect you in front of your face. If they don't like you behind your back, they don't like you in front of your face. They're jealous of you, they're envious of you, so they want to try to make you look bad by any means necessary at all costs. So that's why I'm telling you, if you stop telling them your business, they won't be able to spread your business. You know what I'm saying? Yes, you could be a part of my soul family. This right here is my soul family right here. Y'all support me, I support you. You love me, I love you. We soul family right here. The we family right here, y'all. Yes. So, yeah. Do not allow these people to spread your business. And listen, you cannot control what they do. You cannot control what your family does, right? You can't control if they talk about you behind your back and if they spread your business. But what you can control is information that they know. Because if they know information, they will be able to spread it and talk about it to other people. But if they don't know anything, then the only thing that they have to judge off of is things of your past. They don't know what's going on in your present. All they have is your past. And if they want to sit there and talk about your past, go ahead. Because it's like, you're living in the past, I'm living in the present. So that's not even existing no more. So by all means, have fun, baby. Do what you want to do. And another thing what they do is when they don't know what's going on in your present, they will start to make assumptions about you. Then that's when they'll come and start asking you questions, questioning you, and then judge based off of those answers that you gave them. So, you know, although you cannot control what they do, you can control what you tell them. Because the less they know, the less they'll be able to ruin, and the less they'll be able to talk about. So just don't tell them anything. Just don't tell them anything. Until they have fully rebuilt your trust, don't tell them anything. Don't tell them anything. And I know how sometimes things happen and we feel like we got to talk to somebody. We want to talk to somebody. We want to just let stuff out. You have to find your own confidant, somebody that you can confide in, that's not going to spread your business, and someone that's going to respect what you say to them. It's going to keep that confidentiality between the two of you. And if you don't have that person in your life right now, thank you. I was finna say that. You took the words right out of my mouth, baby. Talk to God about it. God is your confidant. God is your confidant. Now, of course, God wants us to have, you know, good connections with other people that we can confide in. That's what they call them, confidants. But if you don't have those people yet, talk to God about your problems. And when you continue to talk to God about your problems, God will send people your way that you can talk to. God will send people your way that you can talk to, that you will be able to have your privacy respected. Because they don't respect your privacy. They don't respect your privacy because they invade your privacy and they speak on things that are private. And especially if you told them, especially if you have had moments where you told them specifically, do not tell anybody, keep this between us, and they went behind your back and did it anyway, that already shows you they do not respect you, they do not like you, and they do not really care for you. And they're not your people, because if they were, they wouldn't have done that. So I don't care who it is, let those folks go. So as I wrap up, I thank y'all so much for being here with me, and I really hope that we just, you know, we talked a lot. We talked a lot about a lot of stuff that we're going through, and I want you to know that you are not alone. You are not alone. A lot of people go through this stuff. It's a lot of people that's the black sheep of the family. But let me tell you something. As the black sheep, you go through so many spiritual attacks because you have a great destiny in this life. you will use your pain to speak and tell your story to help somebody else. So you go through all of this stuff so that you can be that you can help other people what's missing, what you're missing. I'm thinking of our color girls right now. When Felicia Rashad was talking to Kimberly Elise, and she said, there's too much life wrapped in your voice. You've got to get up from here and help another woman who's missing what you're missing. Help another men out there who's missing what you're missing. Help somebody else who's missing what you're missing. So when you did not go through those things, those situations for nothing. You went through those situations for it to make you stronger, because you would not be this strong person that you are today without all of that opposition. And with all of the strength that you have, now you are more equipped to fight on the army of God, because you gotta go through it. You gotta be tough enough. You gotta be strong enough to be in that army of God, you warrior. You're a warrior. You're a warrior for Christ. You're a warrior for God. You are a warrior. And listen, sometimes what happens is warriors, they gotta fight a lot of battles. Sometimes they're gonna fight battles where it's 1 against 5, 1 against 4, 1 against 6, 1 against 8. You're gonna be the only one fighting against, you're gonna be the only one on your team fighting against other people. And when that happens, and you defeat all those people, and you win that battle, you're gonna be wiped out. You're gonna be exhausted. You're gonna be wounded. Sometimes you're gonna take some hits. You're gonna take some blows. You're gonna take some scratches. But at the end of the day, you still won. You still won that battle. So warrior, if you need to rest, rest. If you need to sleep, sleep. If you need to take a break, take a break. Do whatever you need to do to recharge and replenish, to get yourself back up, so you can go back out into that battlefield and fight again. And another thing, protect your peace at all costs. And if you cannot until you can get yourself out of that situation, until you can remove yourself from that situation, do whatever it is that you can to keep your peace. Whatever it is that you can. If you have to leave the house for a certain amount of time, if you have to go someplace, just to keep the peace, do what you got to do. Do whatever it is you need to do to keep your peace. But do not allow these people to disturb your peace. Do not allow these people to take your power away. Take your power back. Take all of it back. Take all of the power back from the people that stole it to you. Remember that God is not going to give you anything that you cannot handle. God will never, ever give you anything that you cannot handle. And I understand it may be tough, it may be strong, but cast your worries and your problems to God. Let God carry your burdens. Let God lift the weight off your shoulders. Because you know what? You're a diamond. And you're going to have to go through the fire. You're going to have to go through pressure, because diamonds are made under pressure. So when you feel like you're under pressure, you're a diamond that's being made. When you feel like you're in a lot of darkness, you're actually being planted. You're in soil being planted so that you can sprout from the soil and blossom and bloom into this beautiful lotus flower. You know how the lotus flower comes from the mud and the dirt and sometimes in the water? But it's the most beautiful flower ever. Because you are the lotus flower. You are the butterfly. You are the diamond. God gave you beauty for your ashes because you are the phoenix rising. Thank you, I saw that. You are the phoenix rising. Rising from the ashes. Now you know what happens with a butterfly? Is that everything is made under pressure. First of all, like diamonds are made under heat and pressure. Lotus flowers come from the dirt and the mud. A phoenix rises from the ashes. And a butterfly is made. Before a butterfly is first a caterpillar. A butterfly is first a caterpillar. But when they are in their cocoon, they kind of break down into this goo, into this liquid. So they're not even a caterpillar anymore. And from that goo, they become the butterfly. They get their wings. Because they had to completely shed their old body in order to gain these beautiful wings. But remember, a butterfly cannot see their own wings because it's behind them. It's behind them. They can't see their own wings, but they are the most beautiful wings ever. This right here is my favorite butterfly, the mafo, the blue butterfly. It's like the emoji. Okay, when I was down in, which one did it look like? So, you know, sometimes they can be like fully black, but just have blue spots. And what happened one time is one of these butterflies actually landed on me one time. It landed right here on my chest. right here on my chest. It was during Labor Day weekend, and I was down at my brother's house. We were visiting him for the holiday, and I saw that butterfly fly from a tree as he was sitting on his porch. It flew from the tree, and I was like, oh my God, that's a mafo butterfly, because I had never seen a mafo butterfly in person. And then it flew over, and then it landed right here. And I looked down, and I was like, and then it flew away. Like it only sat there for maybe 2 or 3 seconds. I wasn't even able to record it. I wasn't able to get a picture. But that was that one time that a butterfly landed right on my heart. So I was thinking that because that was one of my spirit guides. It was confirmation and transformation. You know, what I love about this butterfly is this butterfly talks about transformation, because all butterflies talk about is transformation. But also with this blue color, it talks about eternal youth. That's why I love that one. So wait, what were you saying, bro? See, I don't know how I got to your page. You know what happened? God led you to my page. That's what happened. God is the one that just put my thing on your For You page. I didn't do that. That was all God. That was all God, bro. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap up this message. I'm about to end this live. I want to thank y'all so much for watching. I want to thank y'all so much for tuning in. Thank y'all so much. If you have not already, or if you didn't know this, I have a YouTube channel. So it's the same name as my, it's the same name as this, Terriann Belle. So, yeah, same name, Terriann Belle. So if you want to go ahead and, you know, what I'm trying to say, I am so tired. This took a lot of my energy out, but it's okay. So subscribe to my YouTube channel, please. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's at Terriann Belle. Help me please get my subscribers up, because I'll get 1,000 subscribers. Amazing things can happen. So thank y'all so much. And I hope you all enjoyed this live, because I'm talking about, you know, toxic, dysfunctional families. And I'm going to be hopping back on live. It may not be today. It'll be another day. But I'm going to be talking about, you know, other things along this line about, you know, dysfunctional, narcissistic people and stuff. So be watching out for my next live. And even if you miss it, I'm going to upload this, you know. Okay, I don't even want to say that because last time something happened. So shh. So yeah, just watch out for my next live, y'all. Watch out for my next live. But I thank y'all so much, and blessings to you all. It's gonna all be okay. Remember that you are never alone. Remember that you are never ever alone. It's other people that are with you that are going through the same thing. And sometimes it's good to, you know, find other people that talk about the things that you go through, because that's how you can find your soul tribe. The people that go through the same things that you went through. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people, a lot of us deal with a lot of pain. We carry a lot of hurt, but we healing. We healing right now. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. All right, y'all, my family. Y'all, my family. I love y'all, and I thank y'all so much for supporting me. I just thank y'all so much for being here, and I just wish healing on everybody. I just wish blessings on everybody, and I just hope that you all have just an amazing and prosperous, productive, peaceful rest of your day. Okay? All right, y'all.